one time, GOG, a Sunday edition.
NFL
from Saturday
championship.
to Sunday, NFL championship,
NFL championship edition.
Right.
Best part of the year.
Listen, let me start by saying this. This water I have in my cup right now, I will no longer drink it all February. I'm doing a dry February.
Me too.
Doing a dry February.
Me too.
That includes pop. So I gotta get my Coke game and my Coke game, my Coke game right. I think it's just gonna be water, man.
Water and clear liquids. I'm not drinking any alcohol at least the first couple days in February.
That's how dry you're gonna be.
So this Thursday and
it's
Friday,
gonna be dry. It's gonna be dry.
Yeah.
Hey, look, it's
dry
a short
weekend.
It might be the longest month of February because of the leap year, but I think I can go 29 days.
I can easily go 20. Now the Super Bowl day, I'll make an exception.
Yeah.
And the Saturday.
That don't count. That's what I'm doing this year.
I was about to say
because it's 29 days.
You must handicap that right now.
29 days, so it's still 28 days.
So it still counts.
Right. And the reason I'm doing that, you can't see the board, but I'm trying to get down to under 3 because it needs to happen quicker.
Under what?
I'm letting it happen.
They don't know what 3 mean. What 3 mean?
They know. They know what 3 is. You know what 3 is. You yo-yo between 3.
Hold on, man. Don't be putting my business on the internet. Don't be put my business nowhere on the internet.
Your business on the internet right now.
That's a whole different hop.
Back to business. Power. I'm straight into power.
Straight into it, man. This is my favorite spinoff, the Raising Kanan. That's what we're talking about. That's my favorite of the 3 spinoffs.
Yeah.
I like it better than, even though Tommy's show did get way better season 2. But
I like 2. I like Power about 2 just because like Meth and them and Mary they have a little dynamic going. But you're right. This one is really
because it's back in our day. It's like and the music they play. It's like I just like it.
It is.
My guy over here, the one I love the most over here. Hey, he won't watch it.
I didn't say I refused to watch it. I don't know.
When we get these contracts, and money come in. One of the contractors will say, "You must watch all the powers." You got to get it in, baby, because look, it shows you something about how we grew up. We didn't grow up in the biggest city, but things moved like that.
Things moved in the 90s. Just in all kinds of stuff. Not in the even though the show is about dope, it's just the 90s in general.
Right.
Things went like that.
Things exactly. Exactly.
It was awesome. I think for those out there that are up on it, we're talking about Raising Kanan again. I think Kanan is going to end up. I said this last week. He's going to end up butting heads with the people he's doing business with because they're against his mom, and his mom already took out. She cut off the supply.
Right.
She already cut off supply, so that's going. But Kanan is going to end up, I think, siding with his mom in the end.
I think he's going to eventually have to,
because it's his mom.
Right. Because his mom, he loves his uncles.
Right.
So his uncle's going to get part of it.
Mm-hmm. Jukebox.
Yeah. Juke. Right. Juke over there. That's a whole nother story. Juke is hard. Juke is hard.
Is wild though.
But like you said, she took out the connect by permission too.
Right, from her own family.
You can't. Hey, the real connect. Because if you ain't watched it, I mean that's your fault.
Right.
But we all know who the connect was, and we know she was a bodega girl. She and Rock helped get her husband knocked off so she could have some freeway and she could move some stuff out the store. But then she got ahead of herself because she was hanging with her cousin and thought she was the one. Mm-hmm. Not the 2, not the 3, but the 1.
The 1. She wasn't.
No.
She wasn't. And like Rock said, if it wasn't for Rock, she would have never been on at all.
And Rock said some real shit. She's the only one that looks at herself and look, I do wrong. I got to sit in that. but some of the things I'm doing has to be done.
Right.
So I can't be sitting back here for days on days crying about it. I got to keep it moving because nobody eats, not just me. The mother's a trip too, but the mom just wants the bread.
She's ridiculous. That's how you can see how the kids grew up like that to be what they are, because she's ridiculous.
They had to go get it early,
and get enough for her. She didn't want to do she doesn't want to do too much. The mom, as far as spending, sustaining herself.
I mean, we have an insight on what old boy is going to end up being because we saw the original Power.
Right.
But
that's what I like about prequels.
If we didn't, I would swear he's gonna get murdered in the next couple. Wouldn't you? Mm-hmm. There's no way because he got naivety to him. You know what I'm saying? He's a little bit naive. He's hard, but he's not as hard. He don't know what's going on in the streets for real.
He thinks he does.
Yeah.
By association.
But because he's right. He doesn't know. Man.
Yeah, stay tuned. I think 2 more episodes left for this season.
I can't watch the next episode. We can't talk about it because I'm going to have to watch it. I got to double time it, man. I got to wait. Okay, but after this episode, I got to go. I got to do a double time. Because is it 3 more left?
2. I think 2. You could be right, though.
Are they going to have another season after this one? Or are they going to wrap it up?
They have
to.
They have to. These prequels are probably going to end up having as many seasons as the regular Power did.
I mean, Tommy and Ghost haven't even shown up yet.
Right.
So
Tommy
they got to show.
Ghost haven't shown up.
And Tommy and Ghost were under him. Mm-hmm. That was Ghost's role model. Tommy and Ghost's role model
was Kanan.
Yeah. And then when Ghost wanted to go a different direction, try to turn a little legit, boy wasn't with that, and they had to put him in jail. And that was the whole thing. And when he got out of jail, he was like, "What's going on?" Yeah, that's outstanding.
Yeah,
that's outstanding. You gotta understand it, man. I know you never really been into none of the gangster stuff. I understand that, but more than gangster is about relationships and how to read people. That's where I really want you. It's not about the violence, or it's about how to read people, and this shows you
like the
how
Godfather. Going back to the Godfather, which was the Godfather of them all, of the gangster movies.
Right.
But yeah, it was more of a chess match. The movie and all of these.
Not to be too hot-headed, because Sonny, and they set the location on purpose, and Sonny got blasted at the turnpike because they knew he was coming. They knew how to make him mad.
They knew how to make him mad. Yep.
Right.
And see, that was you can never let anybody know how to make you mad.
Because whatever he was gonna do to that boy,
because they gonna do it on purpose to set you up.
Whatever Sonny was on his way to do, he could have did it the next day.
Or he could have
with
just
nobody
waited.
knowing. Yep, that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean. The next day,
Michael
whatever,
always waited.
Right.
And just have cats disappear.
Yep.
I mean, disappearing people is not really that hard. I don't want to go into it, but
And Sonny, and people knew Sonny was a hands-on person because there's people that's hands-on. Michael wasn't really hands-on. Mike wasn't go.
Mike was a CEO.
Mike wouldn't go come in.
He wasn't in the field.
And beat your ass or whatever.
No. He wasn't in the field.
But Mike was your fear. Right. But we feared him because you knew
because he came. That's how Michael came in.
He
came in shooting the cop,
right?
And the guy who shot him got his dad shot. So it was like everybody was like, "You can't shoot a cop." Mike was like, "Why not? Here's how we're gonna spin it." And that, he
was strategic with it.
Yeah,
he didn't just roll up to the cop and shoot him. He set it up to where it never come back on him. We was at a meeting and something happened. You know what I mean? That's how he's supposed to do it.
Sonny was like, "Look, everything. I'm gonna take care of it." Yeah. But like he didn't need no soldiers. Hey.
He was the oldest, you know what I'm saying?
No strategy. I'll tell you this, though, about all my years of watching gangster movies and stuff. I love them, gangster shows. But it's taught me, and I'll say this to our listeners, don't ever ask me to commit a crime or commit a crime with me, because I'm telling. There's no snitching involved. I'm telling. I'm going to be like, hey, police. This dude said he about to kill him, and he wanted me to come.
You a civilian, so that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I'm like...
That's status quo. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Now, if you're a gangster, and you say that, then...
I'm not built for it. Like, I know I'm not built for that life at all.
I'm a civilian,
Which
too.
is
I don't
why
know
I like watching it.
Yeah.
Like, we enjoy watching it because we know, hey, I'm not going out here doing all that.
Nah.
But they make for the great stories, man.
But you can apply those rules.
You can apply those
rules. Talk about it.
To business. So if you watch how people move, you know you can learn how to play them.
Yep.
If you watch how people try to play you, then you know their weakness.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
So watching some of this stuff is just an insight on how people work, because I've seen it happen in real life, how people work, and you got to maneuver through it.
I got a quick related story about gangsterism, and we're a sports program.
I mean, he's the gangster of me.
No.
Me? I'm at the police station every day. Just in case. I go to the police station. You got anything? I'll be like, not today, but I'm showing up just in case I will have something tomorrow, though.
And it's personally relevant because one of my boys and one of my G's sent me a picture from Columbus yesterday. They just happened to run each other in a casino yesterday, and we was going over old stories. But freshman year at Ohio State, this girl, ironically, was the girlfriend of the dude we call Drago, because he was built like Drago. We just call him Drago. She don't want to go to the football game. Hey, you want the ticket? So me and Greg go to football. We never go to football game. I couldn't really see going to see cats our age play, whatever. But we go to football game. They playing Iowa. At the time, Iowa was number 1 in the country.
Is that when they had Chuck Long?
Yes, sir. And Ronnie
Harmon.
So as soon as we walk into the south stands, where back then they used to take the south stands down after the season. Right. There was still a track in there. Jesse, that's where people ran track at. So we walk in, just look for somewhere to sit, because the seats was like it's all benches or whatever. It's students, so we just going whatever. So when we walk in, Ronnie Harmon coming through the south touchdown. You know what I mean? Oh, whatever the snap. So we walk in, and he got a 76ers jacket on, and we hear, "Hey, the Sixers suck." When everybody's 18, 19, we ain't. Hey, you heard me? The Sixers suck. Like, keep going, man, because he was with them hands. I didn't have them in the fight. We get 3 steps up the thing, and we hear, "Hey, boy, you heard me? The Sixers suck." I said, "Okay, we got to go back now." So we look to see what it is. It's a 40-year-old dude with green jeans on, and his little friend like, "Well, how are you even in the game? Why are you wearing green? What? This don't even make sense." So he comes down. He about 6'2". He drunk. He was like, so my boy, I had stamps for my boy because he was gonna do something. I was like, look, I said, hey, look, I don't know what your problem is, but you don't want these problems. You know what I'm saying? I don't know you don't want none of these problems. He said something, and he went to go swing, and he went over. He hit my hat off, and he barely clipped my boy like a fingertip, and it was about to be on. Before that happens, the little campus security, it wasn't Columbus PD, it was a campus police.
Right.
Coming over this and that. And they take me and my boy out. You know what I'm saying? And as he taken out, it's 30 or 40 students in the stand like, no, it wasn't them, it was him. Here where the gangster part come in. We outside watching it. We live in the tower, so we can do whatever. He was sitting there and my boy was standing.
That's the gangster part.
Hey.
There he is right there.
Hey, the gangster
it
part,
was him.
he was right there. So the gangster part was, my man was heated, and I'm sitting here like, it ain't even halftime, man. I'm sitting there already plotted out. Now, my mind already plotted out. I was like, gee, we can go back. I mean, it was lunchtime. We got free meals. We can go back to eat and just come back. Whoever that dude is, he don't live around here. He got to go to his car sooner or later, and we get him over there. We can't go back in there and get him. He wasn't having none of that. So finally, a black cop came up, and he asked me, he said, "Hey, man, what happened?" And we told him, da-da-da. Can you point him out? I said, yeah, he got green jeans on. They go.
They at the gangster part.
Like, can you point him out? Yeah, he got green jeans on.
Sponsored by the letter.
So they go in,
50.
they scoop him up and question him. He did the Trump thing. You can't do nothing to me. He's like, hey, man, listen, we about to take you to. And he did something, and he brushed up once upon a time. They hog tied him and brought him outside, threw him in the whoop. He said, hey, you want to know, you want to press charges? What y'all want to do? Because he about to go to jail right now, like real jail, because he put hands on the cop and he resisting arrest and that. So we was like, I was looking at G like, hey, man, I got a unique name. I got a unique name. and our name in the phone book. I don't want to turn around my shoulder because if I ever see this dude again in life, he gotta get disappeared. So we sit there debating, should we go to
when
the
he says
police
gangster,
station?
he mean the opposite of gangster. Well, he like the scarecrow. Hey, didn't you used to do this? Hey, run a free make muscles. That's how I throw you in front.
I haven't talked this whole episode. I can't even finish my little. It was gonna be a 3-minute
Hey, I was out there interrupting you.
He turned it into a 10-minute story. I'm like, you want to do a 10-minute?
Hey, it's all right.
Finish the
You
story,
got 10
and
minutes.
he got questions after.
So on one end we seen one play. Ronnie Harmon won a touchdown. Now we kicked out. Now they taking him. They're like, hey, you guys want to press charges on him? And Greg is still like, man, just let him out. Well, I don't know why he in the car. Just let him out. We can take him around the corner. I was like, that's what I'm talking about. He got to go to his car. I don't know where he parked at. We can follow, and we can do whatever he got to do around the corner. But I don't want this dude to know my name. I got a unique name. So he's like, all right, well, we'll decide this and that. He said, well, you know where the police station is. So we walk to the campus police station. We get about 3/4 of the way there. I'm like, gee, they already got this cat for such and such and such and such. I don't want nobody to know my real name because I got a unique name. All right, screw it. So we go back to the game. We walk back to the game is almost. The game is it's like 30 seconds left, and y'all go back and look. It's 1987, Iowa versus Ohio State. We walk back into the stadium. Everybody's walking out. You don't need a ticket or nothing because everybody walking out. We walk in. Ohio State up by like 4 or 5 points, whatever. It's like 30 seconds left. They hit, and it's still the same Iowa team you've seen this year. They hit a tight end and runs a 5.6 40 down the sidelines, and he beats everybody to the end zone to win. So we seen 2 plays, both Iowa touchdowns. Both Iowa touchdowns. But yeah, game winner. But I was like, we ain't seen none of that. And we almost had to put 2 to sleep. Because the dude the green jeans was with was a little short dude, like 5'5". He was bouncing around. I'm like, what are you doing? I mean, what are you? And he swung like, oh, man. So it was going to be problems for him. But he did some other stuff that was way, way worse than whatever we was going to say about him because he started messing with the cops, talking about, and everybody in the South Stand is cheering. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're watching a football game on TV, like we're going to do later today, it's breaks in the action that. But when you're at the game, it's a whole lot of breaks. So they cheering, get him out of here. They had to hog time and carry him out, like 4 or 5 campus police carrying him outside. What y'all want to do? I was like, oh, I don't want him no. I said, can't y'all just let him, can you just let him walk? You know what I'm saying? Because we was gonna do something to him, but it never happened. And the only football game I ever went to was that one. I seen 2 plays from the number 1 team in the country. That's the only Ohio State game I went to.
And they beat Michigan that year too. I think they were like 1 against 2.
Well, Michigan became number 1 in 1989. That's a whole nother story.
I think that was the year they played. When Michigan when Harbaugh was there and Anthony Carter.
Harbaugh left in 86.
Okay, so the game I'm thinking about must be the year before.
Yeah, it's the year before. Because the year I'm talking about, our top guy played for the Eagles and the Vikings. The wide receiver.
Oh,
Carter.
Jackson.
Carter.
Chris Carter?
Chris Carter.
Okay.
My freshman year, Ohio State was pre-ranked.
Oklahoma.
He had 46 yards to catch.
Something crazy.
He had 10 catches.
Something crazy. Something crazy.
6 touchdowns, 10 catches, 460 yards.
But Ohio State was
beast.
preseason.
He was a beast.
Ohio State was preseason number 1.
Right.
When we was coming in there. But then Chris Carter couldn't play, so they put in, shout out to Anthony Coop. He ended up being a cool
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yep. He couldn't play, and they did. And that's when Earl Bruce got fired.
Right.
But they went to Michigan and won that last game for him. You know. On the other note, that Monday after they beat Michigan, me and my dude I'm talking about, we walking out the towers.
And you seen that dude there.
Here come Earl Bruce coming up the ramp. Because that's the bottom part of that second tower you see on TV. The bottom 14 floors was administrative offices, your financial aid or whatever this and that. So I guess he was getting his paperwork because they had fired him already. And he come up the ramp, and we seen him. He was like, "Good morning, gentlemen." He was like in a good mood. I was like, "Hey, what's up, coach?" And we just went like, he just got fired. He in a better mood than we is. You know what I'm saying? I was like, it was crazy.
Right.
Yeah,
You getting
yeah.
paid. Can't not pay him.
Yeah.
Checking that.
It was
What I gotta do with these cats,
early in the
and I get to
morning.
go home. I'm gonna go on vacation.
He was on his way to Lincoln Tower. He's like, "Morning, gentlemen." I was like, "Hey, what's up, coach?" And we was like, "He just got fired. He in a better mood than we
He never had
is."
another job, did he?
Herb Bruce? Not that I
Oh, no,
remember.
that was
Never
it.
had another
I
job.
think
he
he
went-
did TV.
No, he did Columbus TV, the Buckeye Networks, all that kind of stuff. You won't see it in any of other than Columbus. You won't
Wow.
see it.
Yeah. He
But
took
yeah,
over
man.
For Woody Hayes.
Yeah.
Herb Bruce.
So that was, somebody would have got disappeared. Nobody would have ever heard about it, but it just didn't happen because he ended up getting deeper charges than what we was gonna put on him.
Hey,
I got statute of limitation for my my gangster stories. I can't tell them.
This is true. This is true stories. This is true stories. This is true
Hey.
stories.
I have no gangster stories. But there could be some fake gangsters that have stories.
And that's what we gonna
about
bring.
what happened if I was involved.
And this is what we go. This is what the gentleman of the garage is gonna get you. You know, every time if you spend your time watching us, in passing or however you do it, give you a good story, to help out your day. Good true stories that help out your day or whatnot. And we're going to getting to. I know if you're watching this, you watch sports, probably play sports. You probably been messing around with these sports apps because they're nationwide now. You had to only go to Vegas to bet sports up until 2023 in Ohio and different places. We're going to give you some stuff to where we can make a pick. If you're watching this today, we give you a pick today, that's not going to help you out. What we're going to do is we're going to give you a pick for the next day. So if you're watching it later on today, you can make your pick for the next day, and then you can follow that pick and see how it goes or
But
whatnot.
since it's the title weekend, we have some picks for today.
We got picks for today. Yes, we got picks every day. But due to people having different types of schedules, and as we go along in this journey, we're going to give you picks for the following day, so you can have something to look at because most people don't have the same type of if I can do a Stephen A. Smith, the same sports acumen as the gentleman of the garage.
Listen, I'll say this though as a caveat: if I tell you to bet on somebody tomorrow, pay attention. Right? If I tell you to bet on Denver on Wednesday, if Jokic breaks his leg tomorrow, don't put the bet in. Right. So you gotta pay attention to what's going on in real life.
Yes, sir.
Because our bets are gonna be the picks we give you will be right on based on what's going now.
Right.
Exactly.
But as things change, make sure you're up on it.
Right.
Right. Keep that in mind.
And as a caveat, we're talking to you through 35 years of sports wagering experiences that you only have to be right 65% of the time to be successful. To do the numbers and your picks. Most people think, he was wrong. Yes, you're going to be wrong. We're not in the game. So as long as you're over 65%, you are considered good in the industry. So it's not like, every pick. No, every 65% you're making money. Do the math.
And he's saying that just so you would. And look, if I say a pick, it's right. If it's wrong, it was right. I can tell. Like you said, somebody got their leg broke or something, or the dude was late to practice something. I'm giving you these picks.
The Patriots played the 40.
I ain't wasting my breath.
The Patriots.
My breath is just to tell you the wrong picks.
The Patriots played the Falcons in the Super Bowl. Who won?
The Pacers. You said the Pacers.
I said the Patriots.
Oh.
And the Falcons played the Super Bowl. Who won that game?
The Falcons won that game. Let's not talk about the past. I'm not doing that. You talk about the
Hey, you talking Mark McGuire. We're not here to talk about the past.
Listen, don't worry about the past. The Rams won. The Patriots won 2 Super Bowls.
Nine.
I can't give them all. We talking about how things are fixed, but we can get into the fixed game. There's a whole lot of stuff. Look, even I admit that some of the teams I'm like, I don't think we're legitimate, but that's all right though.
We can do that next week because
They
it's an
won.
off week.
On the books, they won.
Yes.
But if you watch these games, didn't Brady fumble and they made up and they went into the books? They went to the page 1,425 to figure out. That's a tough rule.
Yeah, that was incomplete.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Come on, man. He wasn't even
at that time.
the one he wasn't even supposed to be in, right?
The problem was it was Michigan on Michigan crime, so who knows how that goes? Who knows how that goes?
But
Michigan on Michigan crime. The aunt was like, nobody. Who's over Michigan? You know what I'm saying?
Michigan on Michigan.
Michigan on Michigan crime.
Two Michigan Hall of
Two
Famers.
Michigan Hall of Famers on each other. You know what I mean? Pause. But
But yeah, that was We'll do that next week. We'll go because that was
because next week is no football. Period. No college, no pros, no nothing.
Hey, rules
and we can get into
rules.
some. We can get into some. Yes,
now it would be a fumble
because the tuck rule. Do you know what the tuck rule states?
What is stated?
I'm gonna tell you what it states. The tuck rule is what we see every day. Was it a fumble or was an arm moving forward? That's the tuck rule. But he had it. It wasn't going forward. But the tuck rule is
he had it right here.
It was going forward. He was trying to put it in his other arm, but you're going forward to tuck it.
It's and nobody heard that at that time. And it was snowing.
What about?
I remember arguing with people.
What about fumbles and then later on?
At that time, I'm telling people it's incomplete. They going crazy. Oh, that's going to be a fumble. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, it's incomplete.
That was a fumble.
And the referee said...
That's why I like to have them. It was a fumble. But listen, there's been a lot of other things that happen, like interceptions and then flags come out of nowhere. Because, look, you can call holding on every play.
Yes.
Every play.
Yes. Yeah.
So you gonna call it late after a fumble or interception? Come on, man. Let's get it. We're not gonna get into that because... let them live. Let them live right now.
But I say get rid of now football, all sports. It's way better than it used to be. If you don't believe me, YouTube and watch a game from the past. Their close calls weren't there as much because they didn't show you. If they said it was a catch, it was a catch.
And with no replay,
they didn't show you 1,000 replays
from different angles. This angle, the goal line angle, exactly.
It didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
They won't show you.
That's true. It didn't matter.
They won't replay.
But nowadays, it's like
there
are so many plays that they get right because of technology.
Yep.
So I give the NFL credit for that. I give the NBA credit for that. But they need to go a step further. These personal fouls need to be reviewable. If you hit him in the shoulder, you hit him in the shoulder.
They do review it for the targeting.
No,
for the targeting?
No.
We're talking NBA.
The personal foul. So if you come across the middle, they say defenseless receiver, you hit him in the head. That's not reviewable.
When they do the targeting, that's reviewable.
That's different,
automatic.
Yeah, but
not in the NFL though.
No, but the penalty
there ain't no targeting.
stands.
There ain't no targeting in the NFL.
Okay.
In college football, they review it for targeting.
What I'm talking about is the 15 yards and the automatic first down. So even if they say in college it's not targeting, you already got the 15 yards. Yeah. But there were games. San Francisco possibly lost to Cleveland on that when the guy hit him hit him in his arms and chest, and they gave Cleveland a first down. So stuff like that.
If it's against Cleveland, don't count, so it's all good money.
Hey, the Browns won that game.
It's good money.
And if we had replays, that might not have been called a penalty. There's a lot of them. I just think they need to make that reviewable, and they need to make.
I don't think they will.
Here's the thing.
I don't think they will because when they had reviewed the pass interference, it didn't go well.
That back.
It didn't go well.
It went very well.
Nah, it didn't.
Yes, it did.
There's too many flags. Nah.
Because if the coach is saying, "Hey, he held him."
Pass interference is reviewable now?
It was reviewable for 1 year. In 2019.
Okay, I'm about to say because of what happened with the Rams and the Saints.
Exactly.
He got blowed up.
That's why
that was to go to the Super Bowl. That was to go to the Super Bowl. He got blowed up.
That was ridiculous.
That was crazy.
Not even reviewable, but there should be a booth official that can call down to the field and say, "Hey, that was interference."
Sometimes they do that.
For everything, though. They should do that for everything.
It's expedited. Hey, he was out. He was
expedited reviews for everything.
Don't. Here's the thing.
Make it a perfect.
The reason why they really don't do that because then you have to go back to the play when Obey pushed off to get open before Obey pulled him when the ball was in. So there's a lot of things like we can't call that because then we have to call the other thing too.
Yeah, call it. People
stop
doing it.
Offsetting.
People stop doing it if you start calling it. But I just think if you're going to make the game cleaner, make it cleaner, and let's not pick and choose.
Well, when it comes to gambling, gamble responsibly. Do not gamble what you don't have.
Allow me to retort. Allow me. Can I make a retort, or should I say this for later?
Go ahead.
The reason why we're talking about certain games and be able to gamble because most of the states have legal gambling now. The day the Supreme Court said, hey, it's no longer in Vegas because Atlantic City wanted it all the time, New Jersey wanted it all the time. They said we leave it up to the states. That next day, that Monday, all the news media was in Westgate Casino. 8:30 in the morning. I'm there with my guys. I'm like, why are they here? Because nothing's going on at 8:30 in the morning.
Are you retorting that you shouldn't gamble responsibly, or you have a story about gambling?
Both.
You shouldn't gamble responsibly.
No,
My
you
bad.
have to
Gamble your paycheck.
Say that again. That's what I'm about to say. Say it again.
Are you telling people that they shouldn't gamble responsibly?
And
that's it.
That's it.
That's my whole thing.
Gamble responsibly. That's all I'm
my-
saying. But you said let me retort. I was like, no, you.
That's my point. So the people come in, all the news media come in and interview and rant like that dude don't know about. He just here because it's cold outside. Well, who is it? So they go to the. He said, "Hey, you gonna talk to the news?" I'm like, they shaved that day. Like right now, I'm like, I don't want to talk about this. This is kind of silly because at the same day, the ESPNs, the Fox Sports on that Monday, they were talking about, oh, this is going to be bad for the country. People are going to lose their all this other stuff. Yeah, they was talking about all that stuff. Hey, there's some all stuff. So I told my guy, this is a true story. I told my guy, I said, do you think sports gambling has a good connotation or a bad connotation? And of course he said to me, what does connotation mean? I said, don't worry about it. Is it good or bad? He said, I probably think it's bad. I said, because sports gambling and the connotations, and I'll explain that to you later, was bad because it was based on credit. People was like, hey, give me 800 on whatever team. If it lose, they try to then they get their legs broke and all you got your enforcers and all the stuff that you had to have in order to run an illegal racket that they had in New Jersey, that they had in New York.
I see where you're going.
Yeah, it had other places.
You talking about money you really don't have. I'm talking about. I'm talking about I got $1,500. I got $1,500. I'm about to pay this rent, but.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it on their friend. But your rent, now your rent gone. I'm talking about the money you got that you shouldn't spend.
And so I'm talking
but
about.
I feel you.
If I can finish,
I feel you.
That higher level.
Right.
If I can finish my retort.
He's talking about the bookie.
The people is there. And this
we gotta have Rondell here for the bookie story because I can't tell the bookie story live, man. The bookie story is incredible. Go ahead.
See how my 3-minute
I gotta
thing.
get Rondell here.
You see how my 3-minute thing turned to 10 minutes. It's like this. I know him. I know him his whole life.
It's not a TV show. Talk. Now you talk.
I know.
Now you talk. This ain't a TV show.
I ain't mad at you. I'm just trying to tell him.
Get it out. Spit it out. Spit it out.
I know him his whole life.
Spit it out.
And it's been one with this.
I'm just saying, I'll give you my views after you.
Spit it out, baby.
And the only reason why I bring it up because it's a true story. And it's a big story. So all the news people from Las Vegas come to Westgate because it's a super book. And they say, what is this going to do for the sports gambling industry? And if everybody can gamble on sports, what's going to happen? And such and such and such. So my guy asked me a question, and I said, listen, he didn't understand what I was saying. I was like, all right, forget all that. I'm not going on camera, which I should have did, but hindsight. But they all there. They walking around and looking for people to interview. You can't come to the sports book on Monday morning at 8 o'clock Pacific time and expect there's nobody there. There's no games going on. But I said, listen, bro, I'm going to tell you something. The reason why sports gambling has a bad connotation, which means, the stuff that's linked to it, is because it was based on credit. And when people didn't pay, there was more credit. And if they couldn't pay on what industry that you know of that is based on credit that has a good connotation?
Any illegal gambling was based on credit.
Exactly.
So
what about horse racing? What about horse racing?
Yeah, all of that. There's no difference between sports betting.
No. Hold on. Allow me to.
But you didn't have to go to a bookie for that. You could just go to and bet horses.
No, but I'm saying that
ain't no horse racing stories because of this. And this is what I was going to say.
There's a lot of horse racing stories.
No. This is what I'm gonna say because you just said because you don't remember a lot, but it's on tape. So I'm gonna do like this.
Hey, Pops lose a lot of money on horse. And all his friends. There was a lot of horse racing.
This is what I'm gonna say. New and improved. Here's the whole math. Is that I was gonna tell them, hey, a lot of cats spend money on girls, cars, clothes, or whatever. That's not based on credit. You can have the money up front. I can't go to McDonald's and order $50 worth of food and be like, oh, I'll pay you later. I need it up front. So if I pay $50 on McDonald's food or $50 on the Cleveland Browns, nobody cares. But if I do it on credit and then continue on credit, I might get my legs broke. Every place you bet in Vegas, they don't have no credit cards. You had to have cash up front to pay for it, and you do what you do. Now, if you lose a bunch of whatever, then that's your addiction. You can't get crack on credit. You can't get weed on credit. You have to have crack on credit. You have to have.
You can.
You have experience. You have experience getting crack on credit. I'm making a point.
I just said all crimes still have. We ain't gonna talk about crimes here, but you can get crack on credit.
Don't talk about crime.
You can get crack on credit.
I said sports gambling has a bad connotation because it was done on credit, and people kept getting deeper in the hole to where something had to happen to them for them to pay up. If I want to bet $50 on the Browns, or on the Indians, or on the Cavs, I need to have that $50. If I spend that $50 on those teams or at McDonald's, there's no crime involved. There's no connotation involved. If I got a check for $2,000 and I want to bet it on whatever, I have to have that $2,000 up front.
What's fronting the key mean?
You talking about crime again?
I'm just asking what fronting the key mean.
I don't know. Tell me.
Credit.
Yeah.
Is that a good thing?
It is if you can move. If you can move.
It's an if involved, right?
If you can move it.
It's an if involved, right?
Same thing with sports betting.
It's an if involved.
Whether or not it's credit or not.
Here's where I'm saying I see where you're going, but I could go to Caesars right now with $0 and get a marker and bet on sports. Now, if I lose, that marker comes due, and they're like, "Hey, you got to pay this back." Now, not me per se, but if you have that, so that's the same thing.
But you could also have your mortgage money,
but you still
and
have
not pay your mortgage.
If that don't happen, what's going to happen to you next?
They're gonna come after me.
That's what I'm trying to say. But if you didn't have no marker and you got the 2,500,
well, I'm saying you can get a marker at the casino.
But if you don't pay that marker, what happens?
They come after you.
Exactly. But whatever that marker's worth, if you had that in your pocket, nobody's coming after you.
Right.
That's what I was trying to tell. That's what I was gonna say to the news media is that all y'all blowing up this sports gambling is a bad thing. Is that if I go back to Cleveland and make a sports bet, I can't say, hey, give me 100 on the Indians, and if it don't work, I'll pay you later. I need the money up front.
That's a marker.
But
no.
But I understand what you're saying now. I understand what you're saying.
You need the money,
but at the same time,
you need the money up
if
front.
that $100 is supposed to be for something, this is the problem with gambling.
That's why you said
it's supposed to be for something else.
Yeah.
And you go put it on the Indians or wherever it might be.
Yes.
And your lights off.
Yes.
Then there's the bad connotation.
The same thing as if you bought crack, cocaine, marijuana, whatever it is else, or girls. I'll go to the strip joint.
Girls don't have no.
But based on credit, like
hookers. But girls. No.
I could just bet. Oh, give me call your bookie and give me 100.
I'm putting $100 on the Indians to get the girl. I can't even see the girl before I win the Indians bet.
You do know our credit works, right? You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm talking about without credit. I'm talking about
but I'm just saying either way, I can see both sides.
There is no both sides. You have when you go to the counter in Las Vegas back in the day, you had to have whatever money you wanted to bet. Period.
Right, but.
And if that don't work out, then you got to deal with.
The whole point of what people are saying is
can I just finish? I can't finish. Skip.
No.
Skip.
No.
Skip. I can't finish. Skip.
Not
See,
just,
you know what?
Go ahead.
Every time I open my
Why you get so flustered by interruptions?
Go ahead, Skip.
The whole point is this.
Go ahead, Skip.
The whole point is this.
Skip. Go ahead, Skip.
If you spend the money that you don't have,
you have it if you're doing it. That's what I'm trying to tell you, Skip. If you spend the money you have, you can't make
people
a bet
have houses, car notes,
not if you get it on
light bills,
talking about
and watch
responsibility, Skip. We're not
we
talking about responsibility.
Because if you're gambling and you get out of hand, you're gonna take money that you are allocated for other things.
You had the money in your hand,
right?
And you made a decision.
Right.
That's not the same thing, Skip.
It is if you lose 2,500 and you lose your house because you lost a Super Bowl bet, right?
It's not the same thing, Skip.
That's the same thing, right?
It's not the same thing.
It's the same thing as a drug habit.
No,
if you buy crack,
it's like, hey, I promise you,
you're on the street either way.
I promise you, I can pay you such by next week when I get my check. No, you had to have the money in hand. So whether you spend that money in hand at McDonald's or at the counter at the sports book, Who cares?
If you buying McDonald's, with your
We're not
dog,
looking at the
in
bigger
trouble.
picture. When the people were saying sports gambling, they weren't talking about a negative connotation of legs broken, because that's not real life. So when we look at people who have gambling problems, nobody in the real world in 20 anything has said, man, if gambling becomes legal in this state, people are going to get beat up, shot, and get their legs broken.
No.
The thing that people were saying is that people are going to spend this money they don't have.
Exactly.
And that's what I'm saying. They're not, because if I bet with a bookie, if you run a gambling house and he's the bookie, and I bet with him, he's got to give you the money. That's the same thing as a credit or a marker. If I get the money on credit, that bank or they're giving the window the money, and I have to pay the bank.
That whole
And
scenario.
people take their credit cards.
That whole
empty
scenario.
their credit cards out.
That whole scenario you
Say
just
gamble, lose.
Hey, professor.
Now they own the credit cards.
That
now they
whole
own
scenario you just laid out. Where were you living at when that whole scenario laid out? Where were you living at? What region of the country?
In Cleveland, Ohio, Bedford Heights, Cleveland, Ohio.
In Vegas, you have to have the money up front
And
to make a
that's
wager.
why all the people live on the
Period.
streets in Las Vegas, because
Hey,
they did the
you
same
have
thing.
to have the
they
money
came
up
out,
front.
they had the money.
You have to have the money up front
Now they don't get no house
to make
or
a
nothing
wager.
because they gamble.
But we're not talking about that. So let's end that subject.
Exactly.
It's over.
All right, I got a funny
What we're
thing.
saying is you're not being realistic when you're thinking of people who are saying gambling is bad. Nobody cares about that. No, when you see these gamble responsible things, they're not caring about whether you have to have the money up front or not. Or if I get fronted at a dice game, they're just saying, hey, don't gamble away money that you shouldn't be gambling away. If it's put it like this, if I have money and it flies out the car, if I'm going to go back and get it, I shouldn't be gambling with it because I need that money.
Okay.
It's important.
It's important.
That's what they're saying. If it goes out the window and I just keep driving like, damn, I lost it, that's the money that you should play with.
Right.
That's the point that's being made. We're not saying that.
To gamble legally, you do have to have the money up front to make
That's
the wager.
not what we're talking about.
But
We're talking about. He said gamble responsibly.
Responsibly, right?
That's all he
Not to
said.
gamble.
Wait. The reason why it has a bad connotation because people wasn't doing responsibly
No,
because it
that's
was
not-
based on credit.
No, that's not.
Yes, it
that's not what.
No.
Oh my.
Gamble,
Okay, look,
the reason
listen.
it had
Oh my God.
the connotation is
Oh my
because they're
God.
saying
Right.
people lose money that they shouldn't lose.
They shouldn't
No,
gamble.
that's
They
regular shit. You can do that
No.
shit based on. You can buy a house with too many cars, too many bitches. Nobody care about that shit.
Right,
They
no.
were doing this shit on credit.
But
there
guess
ain't
what?
no credit when you make a fucking bet. That's what I'm trying to
But
tell you.
guess what?
I'm sorry for cussing.
But
I'm sorry
guess
for cussing.
what?
I'm sorry for cussing.
And
See,
this
what
is
you
what I'm
worried about?
saying
You
is-
always worried about the credit.
We're not.
There ain't no
The
fucking credit.
people. First of all, they ain't worried about black people, but the people they worried about
Kings and they look
are
on
the
a
people
$1,000 bet
that are
on
paying
credit.
mortgages,
No, you need to
are
put fucking
paying
money
car
up front.
notes,
You need
are
the money
paying
up
all
front.
the things that they
What-
owe them,
The sports
but
book
they
don't-
can't pay
the
them
sports book
because
don't
they
give a-
ain't gave it to
the sports book don't give a
casinos.
fuck about your regular life. I need the money up front. You want to make $1 million bet? I need the money up front. Ain't no credit.
But that's a.
You
that's
act like money
Ain't no
comes.
acting
You
nothing.
act like money comes
No,
in
ain't no
for
acting
people,
nothing. Ain't
and
no
it just
acting
goes
nothing.
over here, and all of a
You need
sudden
the
you
money
have
up
money
front.
that
Ain't
you
no
just
acting-
have that
You
you
need
can
the
just
money up
gamble.
front. You need the money up
Yeah,
front.
Here's
you had the
question
money
I'm
up front.
You
saying.
had the money up front.
Here's
Ain't no industry in the history of the world that was based on credit that has good connotation.
All right, I'm gonna do a
But
Bill.
no
I'm gonna do a Bill
business in the
Cosby.
world.
We're gonna do the Bill Cosby on. I'm gonna do Bill Cosby
Let me
on.
get this in real quick. Yes, you can gamble on credit at the casino. I can get a credit card. I can get a loan and gamble. Now,
On
second
sports?
thing, on sports, if I get a cash advance on my credit card,
Then you got it credit.
same thing with houses.
That got a whole other
but
thing.
Let me finish.
I'm talking
now.
about to make a
But
bet.
let me finish
To make a
now.
bet, you have to have the money to cover the bet right
But it's
now.
just like when
it's
you
not
buy
based
a house,
on credit.
When you said when you buy a house, there are laws and stuff, and they say if you don't meet this criteria,
The mortgage companies got a
do
good
not
credit.
give
The
that-
mortgage companies have a
Here's the
good
perfect
reputation.
example.
That-
Here's the
that-
perfect example. I
Do
got
mortgage
150.
companies have a good reputation? Do
I
credit
got
cards
150.
got a good
I got a
reputation?
story after this. I got a real story. I
None of
know
that
you'll-
shit.
hey,
You need the money up
Here's the
front.
story. I got 150
Ain't
in one of my bank accounts right now.
Man, you can
If
do
I
that.
gamble with it and lose, we don't have any.
That's your problem.
We don't have any of that, but I got it up front.
That's a whole other problem.
Here's the funny story.
But to make that bet,
That's a
you
whole
need the
nother-
money up front. To make that bet, you need the money
Hey,
up
here's the
front.
funny story, real quick.
We're
We about to get off
keep
gambling,
bringing that
right?
up, but
That's
not-
my whole point. That was my whole point.
But I thought
That
we were
was my
talking
whole
about gambling
point.
responsible.
You need the money up front.
I'm gonna tell you a
We
slap
don't
rock.
care.
I'm about to tell you a slap rock
That's the
story.
whole thing. You need the money
All right.
up front. I don't
right.
care. They don't care where it came from.
Okay,
Ain't no
but
credit.
Let's
Ain't no
pause.
credit in the
Yeah,
sports
but-
book.
but if you-
Dead that topic.
you can always-
We're talking about gambling
Right,
responsibly.
that's
We're
it.
not talking about having cash up front or not. We're saying gamble. He said gamble
You
Responsibly,
see,
that's it.
You can't change a motherfucker's habits about nothing. What the
We
fuck?
know
They
that,
all
but that's
giant
what the
third
news
graders.
media
That's the whole
is there
point. That's
for.
the whole point.
We know that.
Hey, I got a slap rock story. We're gonna get off this.
We gotta
Last
go
night,
play
last
something.
last night,
Oh, yeah,
where
we
we
only
went to
got
it.
15 minutes.
Last night, I bet a grip on the Lakers again, right?
That's your favorite team.
Regardless if they are or not,
You bet on all times. What's your favorite
I
team?
bet a money line. We know what happened, but this is what happened.
What happened? I don't know.
They won.
They won by one.
Good.
Yeah,
I want you to win.
I didn't win.
But that's your favorite-
That's my whole point.
That's your favorite
That's
team.
why I slept rockets. I'm telling you a funny story, man. So I bet on
You
the
see how I
Lakers.
feel when somebody
I
talks.
bet. I don't care. I don't care about what you
You
say.
look
So-
emotional.
No, you're the one. Let's go. So look, hey, you allowed to cash out, right? You allowed to cash out. Like you wanted to cash out on the one jump. So the third quarter comes. I ain't paying attention to the game at all. But the third quarter comes. Steph Curry and them go on a big run. They up 17.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking.
They up 17.
Yeah, they was up 17.
Lakers
I'm looking like
finals
I can only
down
get
20 in
I can only get a certain amount of money out. I don't want that money because I'm mad. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm just gonna let it ride. I lost this bet. They double back and they win it, right? Then they double back and they lose it. My whole point is I took this money out. The app said in real time, the app said with 2 minutes left that the Lakers were down by 9. When I took the money out and got the little money I got, at that same time the Lakers was down by 2. So not only I get fucked by the app, I got fucked by me because I was stupid for taking the money out. I should have just let it ride. Cause
before
I didn't even get the at least if I had cashed out at the right at what it was supposed to be,
Like
I would have
stock-
more money.
Just like the stock market. Go ahead.
My whole point is, I slept rock a whole lot of money and ended up with $20.
Yeah.
I look, and they won, and they ended up going double overtime and win. If I ain't paid,
Now, that's a
no
good story.
attention. This is why I go
That's
to
a good
sleep.
story. That's a good
This
story.
is why I go to sleep.
That's a good
Usually,
story.
when I make me bets, I either go watch a Netflix show, like whatever it might be or something. He knows. I go, I ain't paying attention. I don't even want nothing to do. But for some reason, I saw that third quarter and it made me mad, and I started paying too much attention to it. I lost a grip of money that was supposed to be mine when I was.
Because you cashed out.
I look, so I'm over here. So I'm over here cheering for the Golden State to win. Because I was like, please win. Maybe I'll bet lose. Yeah, I cashed out and lost a whole lot of bread. I cashed out for like $20, man. I was about to win like $400.
Was that on the app?
It was on that.
Did they give you credit for the app? You had to pay for it.
I'm gonna call the app and tell them, look,
Did
man.
you pay for
Hey,
it
look,
for-
man. Y'all told me you can't do nothing. You can't do nothing. You lost.
Hey, Professor, I'm just trying to say. What I was going to tell
The
you.
moral of the story is
The moral of the story is.
let your bet ride, man.
Here's the
Hey,
moral
the
of the
moral of the
story.
story
Win or lose,
is
let
that
your bet
you
ride.
guys have argued, and New and Improved can attest to this.
He can't guess or nothing. He
No,
ain't made
no,
no
but you
motherfucking
ain't-
bets in
He can't,
Vegas.
he can't.
What the fuck are we talking about?
New and Improved can attest to this. You guys have had a heated discussion about it was irrelevant because you're talking about two different things the whole time. He's talking about responsible gambling. You're talking about the gamble you
Every
have.
bet.
Neither one of
He's
those
saying every
topics
bet.
has- But I'm saying neither one of those topics have anything to do
He's
with
saying
the
every
order.
bet that you have money for is
I'm
responsible.
horse
That's
No,
what
he
he's
didn't
saying.
say that. He said you
I'm
have
horse
to have
side.
the money up
I'm
front.
horse side.
That's
All
all
right,
I'm
man.
saying.
We gotta move on, man.
New and Improved can attest to that. They are talking about different things.
Okay, here's a question. Here's a question that y'all can answer. If sports gambling never had
I'm not
nothing
gambling in
to
February
do with
either.
credit, you had to have the money up front, you would never hear a story like my man just told you.
Hey,
You would never hear about because all you hear about is my
I don't
God,
hear about that
They kept the money ain't making more. You ain't got to hear about it. You seen the movies? Niggas kept betting shit they didn't
I heard
have.
people on slots.
You have to have
You heard
the
about
money
people
up
on
front.
slots.
You have to have the money up front.
But when
slots
the
too.
game,
Slots too. You have to have money in the
machine. They lose their house
machine.
to playing slots, man.
You have to have money in the machine.
cartoons.
They're like, hey man, I know you got no money. Just give me $2,000 credit. No, nigga, it's no. I'm sorry for that.
Be responsible gambler, like I said.
That's
facts. That's facts. I'm trying to tell the public what happened when the nation said, hey, everybody can have a sports book if they choose to. And when I told my guy, like, hey, do you know what? The reason why sports gambling, you can't go around saying what you do. Oh, I do sports gambling. And they look at you crazy like
But do you understand that all gambling had that same connotation?
I don't do
because
all
it
gambling.
was because I'm saying
that's facts.
okay.
I don't
I'm just
do that.
saying all
That's facts.
That's why
I don't have that. I don't do all
gamble
gambling
in certain states for a certain time.
Yes, and that's when they said, hey, you know what?
And you gotta
I know
have your
y'all got
hand.
casinos, but now sports gambling is not relegated to
because
Southwest.
Vegas had to get that money.
Southwest,
Vegas was like,
hey
we
look,
need to have
Southwest, Southwest,
something that was special, very, very special.
Hey,
to
look,
us.
Southwest Nevada. You know what? Y'all ain't the only game in town. We're gonna let it open up to every state.
And they don't want that.
Of course, they don't want that.
But that's what it was more about than
Yeah,
the
of course
breaking
they don't want
away.
that.
Hey, let's talk about. We're gonna have to move on because we bloviated about that. Let's go ahead about what's coming up right next up, and that's Baltimore KC.
Oh, it's an NFL.
Right.
Who gonna be in the Super Bowl?
Let's talk about.
The most exciting weekend in
who's
sports.
gonna win.
The most exciting
and why
Sunday.
and what it would take to win. Right. And who you think is gonna win this game?
I think Baltimore wins this because KC's receivers have been so off, and they looked good last week. They weren't such a headline, but that fumble, if they would have lost the game, the receivers again would have been it. So I think between Patrick Queen and the safeties, Roquan Smith and the safeties, they can find a way to slow down Kelsey without bringing too much attention to him.
Right.
Correct.
And I think that's going to be the difference. And I don't see KC as good as they've been in that secondary. I don't know how they're going to do against Baltimore's run.
And that's the key to stop Kelsey, right? Don't you think so?
Yeah.
If you stop Kelsey
Without putting
and make
three
him
guys on him.
right? You
Without
have, to
putting
make,
him
and make you have to make him do other things, and you probably the quarterback gonna have to run a little bit. He's gonna have to do more than sit back because the people ain't gonna be open.
Right.
What about you?
I'm on the same.
Right.
I'm on the same lines as the professor, but the the caveat from the handicapping standpoint, my play would have to take the points with KC because it keeps going up. Plus 4.5.
It's plus 4?
It
$4.5
was
now.
it's
Somebody put
$4.5
a $500,000 bet and change the line real quick.
Oh yeah, that would change the line. Yes, sir. But I also heard on a different on a different medium outlet is that Baltimore's kind of on an all-paced, all-world team because of the offense and the defense. They have the tight end coming back, I believe, this week.
They do.
And KC let Buffalo, who can't run against nobody, hit him up for 182. What are you gonna do against?
Running team.
Yeah. What you gonna do against? What you gonna? It's like, this is crazy. Now Mahomes magic, whatever. He ain't been on the road, whatever.
They'll keep him in the game.
Whatever. It's not. It's gonna take.
Don't you think he'll be in the game, right?
Hey, look. For the viewing audience, what you have to know is in a football game, they only play once a week. So freak interceptions or freak turnovers or freak kickoff returns will change the outcome.
Yes.
So when you're hearing our picks, we're basing it off of if they played 10 times, 7 times, this will probably happen. So don't go.
Would you bet the house on it?
Yes, exactly. You pay for the house. I mean, exactly. That's why people don't bet the house. You know what I'm saying? That's what people
There have been games I would bet the house on, and those are the ones that always don't work.
Don't work out.
Or
the ones that you feel so 100%
Yeah.
So,
or you will hear a more populist type of program. Everybody picks one team, and that's the one that loses.
Yeah.
Because you don't see the cracks. Everybody picks the one team, the favorite, And then when people see that, like, they gonna lose. Everybody got the same thing. So with a football game, they only play once a week. Professor has his thing. 40 has his thing. My thing is college basketball because they play 2 or 3 times a week, and it's stuff you can see in the middle. But a pro football game plays once a week. They making millions and millions of dollars. So how a game breaks is one way, but at the end of the day, this is when because we got the situation where the number 1 seed in the NFC is still alive. The number 1 seed of the AFC is still alive. Now is the time that week off or a week and a half or 2 weeks off comes into play because they've been rested.
And they played.
Yes, exactly. Now is coming into play. In the first week, like in 2002 or 3, when the Denver Broncos lost to the Jaguars after being 14-2.
Oh, that
first
was
round.
96.
First round. No, they got through that one game. Now the second game, as a football player, you had extra days where this team been playing consecutively for 10 weeks in a row. You had a week off. So I would say, with all that bloviation, I would say Baltimore. But because if we're going to go the whole game, I gotta take KC plus the 4.5 because no matter what happens, they're not
4.5 is a little too high for me.
They're going to win. They're going to score a touchdown at the end.
Right.
They're going to score a touchdown at the end.
I'm teasing it, and I'm going Baltimore plus 9.
There you go.
What kind of tease is that? A 14-point tease?
5.5 point.
Where you at, Riviera?
You know what I meant to say. I'm going.
No, I don't. I need you to tell me.
I'm going Baltimore minus 9.
Oh, you think they're gonna win by
I'm teasing.
touching
I'm
the
going
field?
Baltimore
you trying to get plus
That's
money.
crazy.
Yeah.
So
I'm giving up 9 points and taking
here's the
Baltimore.
math for me.
Yeah, sorry, y'all know what
You
I meant
vicious.
to tease. I'm teasing.
Vicious than a motherfucker.
I learned something the other day. I learned that Mahomes' heartbeat.
Talk about it.
Is it
His
off this
heartbeat does not change. It gets slower during important times. He's chill. He's chill. He's chill when it comes time. So if you think about this, and we're not talking about a one timer that's been here before. He's been here 6 times in a row, right?
Yeah.
So we're talking about somebody that actually gonna show up to this game.
And I'm disrespecting him.
You disrespecting them. You disrespecting that shows up to this game. Uber focused. Uber focused. Like there's nothing. He's not gonna make mistakes. If he makes mistakes, it's because he made a mistake, not because of the moment. You understand? And then you have somebody else that is playing. This is a step for him. He's MVP again, but he never been to this game. The beginning of this game might be kind of rough, right? So we talking about 4.5 here. I can't. Now you talking about 9?
Yeah, I teased it.
That can't happen, right? But
You
that
take
defense.
KC?
That defense.
You take KC plus 9?
If I take KC
Say
plus
less.
minus 4.5.
Say less.
Plus 4.5.
Say less.
I take KC 3.5. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a 3-point game either or.
Baltimore
But
minus
look,
9. Make it 9.5.
when I learned that stat, it reminded me of somebody that I don't want to talk about right now, and I'm actually gonna take KC for that one guy.
Okay, I like that pick though. I will say this: if Baltimore is not up in a big way at halftime, I'm nervous.
Hey,
That's what with my 9 points. With my 9 points. I'm
hey, they good in the
What's
first
your
half.
9 point?
with my 9 points.
They good in the first half.
Yeah, I need
Yes,
them
sir.
to tear out the frame. With my 9. But switching to that second game,
Let's go.
this game I'm torn on. I just feel like there's something. I think Detroit is a bad matchup for San. I've been saying this for a month. They're a bad matchup for San Francisco.
Because
Too physical in that too physical on offense.
against
Francisco's
Detroit's
defense.
defense,
No, Detroit's offense might be too physical for San Francisco's defense.
Detroit has the upper hand on offense.
I think their physicality on offense might be a little much for San
Is
Francisco.
it a bad matchup for San Francisco or
What's
Detroit?
the number on
San
that?
Francisco.
That's 7.
Say that
isn't it?
again, because
6.5,
I
7.
think you said the opposite.
I think it's a bad match. Detroit is a bad matchup for San Francisco.
There you go. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think San Francisco, but I just feel like this.
Hey,
is gonna
talk
be
it
a
out.
fluky-
Talk
That's
it out.
7.5 now.
Talk it
So-
out. Talk it out because you're about
Oh, yeah.
to say
I'm
something.
teasing it.
No, don't get to the pick. Go into your
What you gonna do?
analysis.
I'm saying that
Right.
I think I could just feel something fluky going on because of the weather in San Francisco and Detroit being an indoor team.
It's a perfect weather, as I understand. Am I right? I think it's
for San Francisco, yeah.
Yeah.
But Detroit, I think their physicality on offense might be a little much. So I think it could be one of them games where they go back and forth for a little bit, stop each other. But if Detroit can get a lead, I think they can just run through them. I think they can just put the foot on their neck
Even
and run
on-
through them.
Can Detroit do
Wait.
that even if San Francisco on offense? Because I'm hearing that Detroit's DBs aren't as good enough to cover all the stuff they have to cover.
Where did they put? Where's the stadium? Santa Clara.
Santa Clara.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be perfect.
It's gonna be 70 degrees.
It's going to be perfect.
And
It's still
No rain.
grass.
okay, listen.
It's still outside.
I mean,
Go off with the calf.
So you
Yeah,
think?
yeah.
So
So
you,
he used to
so you
grass.
teasing it loud? How are you teasing it? Which way you teasing?
money line.
You go money line.
Not tease. I'm money lining.
You money line Detroit.
Detroit.
Okay. That's you. That's you.
You going to give me a pick right now? I'm enjoying his
done.
analysis.
Yeah, I said.
No, it's your analysis next.
70 degrees in San Francisco is still going to be cold. It's San Francisco that
I got the
play on
over.
that
I got
grass.
over 51.5.
Okay.
That's it. Go.
No, we
I don't care who wins.
Okay, but you have to make a pick though.
That's
Because
my pick.
this is part of the game.
That's my pick.
Who's
Over.
gonna win?
Over.
Who's gonna win?
Over 51.5.
Who's gonna win? You want to talk forever, and I'm not gonna interrupt you this time. Talk and give me the reason why.
You didn't underrep me. I said
I didn't interrupt you, but I will interrupt you. Who's gonna win?
Well, I've said since the last podcast, I would like to see a San Francisco Ravens Super Bowl. I would like to see that again.
So San Fran didn't know.
Well, here's a rub. If I can go off, if I can, I don't know if people
You can go off. Yeah, you can go off what he said.
allow me to retort. If I can go, if I can go off the tangent or cotangent or cosine, who anybody take algebra, which I'll explain later, is that I would say that with
Babies.
with Samuel, Debo Samuel being back, that is so big.
Called it will.
I had previously I was on Detroit plus 6.5 with Samuel back. His dynamic is so whatever. I'm on the over. But I think San Francisco at the end of the game they'll do something and they'll keep it within the 6.5. So who will win? San Francisco. Who will cover? Detroit.
I just want to know, this is all gambling because most America don't know about gambling.
That's what I'm trying to teach them.
But
But,
listen,
y'all talking about
That's-
prohibition.
but
Y'all talking about
This is
prohibition
about picks.
and all talking about Elliot
all right,
Ness
it's
shit.
all right.
Ain't nobody hearing about.
Anybody, you ever seen a
Race
Greyhound
race.
race? I think this is like a Greyhound race. I think, boom, whoever shoots out is going to win this. That could be Detroit because San Fran doesn't play well from behind.
Talk about the defensive end for Detroit, the cat from Michigan. Can he get pressure on Purdy?
Oh, yeah, he can.
Because he's coming from the left.
I
he
think-
don't have to deal with the
I
right
think-
guard.
But he can only get it. Like I said, they don't play well from because the plays are different when they're behind, right? If they had to go do the same thing last week, which they never did, a shotgun too many times, yeah, he's gonna get to him. But if Debo and them are doing what they have to do, running in motion and doing all that, there's no way you're gonna touch him. You
Okay.
money line. You saying Detroit?
I am, man, but I keep going back and forth on this game. Both of these games, I would say, this is one of them weeks where, even back in the day when I was sports bet, I'm not betting either one of these games.
See,
I would just lay off both games because I could see it either way for both teams. I really can, even though I'm still taking Baltimore by 9.
I think it's too many points in both of those games.
52 and a half and 43.
Hey, what if I get?
I'm talking about the side.
Spread.
Yeah, it's 4.5 and 7, way too much. So that's why I'm betting them. But if I'm picking San Fran on that.
Okay. And we are too deep in the internet age. If I told you will Brock Purdy throw 1.5 touchdown passes over under, what would you say? If I told you Brock Purdy was going to throw 1.5 touchdowns over under, what would you say?
I have no idea.
That's cool. Will Christian McCaffrey run over 87 yards rushing today? Yes or no? This is the things that we're dealing with. And this is going to come off the top of my head. Will Ayuk have more than 79 passing receptions over the day?
No, yards.
We have, yes.
Receiving yards?
Yeah, receiving yards, I'm sorry. Yes, sir.
And for all these, and I say this, I got to see the game. Now hold up.
Let me say something.
Let me finish what I'm saying. I'm not
going to interrupt you.
But what you're about to say doesn't make sense of what I'm saying.
No. What I'm saying is, hey, Professor, trust me. Professor, trust me. Professor, trust me.
Go ahead.
Professor, trust me.
Professor, trust me. I don't buy the secret.
Professor, hey, Professor.
Go ahead and
trust me.
Trust me. You're making no sense on what I'm saying.
No, it does. I guarantee you it does.
Go ahead.
What we're trying to explain to you is we're making predictions without what happens going on during the game. So predictions sometimes could be you could ride with the wave or this and that. But a prediction is harder because with the technology, you don't have to wait. You can wait till the game to already start to make another prediction. Now go ahead.
Is Debo playing?
Yes.
Okay. He's playing 100%.
They said he's playing.
That's all I wanted to know. I didn't need to.
No, I was just saying that predictions
one person is doing
hard.
gambling, everybody else is just picking the game.
Yeah.
You know that, right? You're the only one doing the gambling, which we gave you a whole section to do gambling. Now you're doing
Hey, Young Improve.
last section.
Young Improve. Are you familiar with the sad face? Are you familiar with sad face? This one.
So, I think on all these things, man, I'm gonna go Detroit and Baltimore. I'm gonna just do it. Like I said,
to win
to win. I could see it going either way, and that's why I said I wouldn't. These aren't good. If you guys out there are sports bettors, I would lay off both of these, but that's what I think.
40.
And you never lose laying off.
40.
There you go.
40.
I think KC is going to win this game. That's why I'm
That's good money.
in San Fran.
A rematch?
But
a COVID rematch?
And the only reason I do, I'm trying to tell you, the only reason I do is because the boy is special, and the NFL knows he's special, and that could be a thing.
That could be dangerous.
That could be a thing, man. That's all I'm saying. Because your boy ain't never been here. This, like I said, baby steps.
Mm-hmm. For both
next year. Yeah, next year Baltimore might win. Next 2 years Baltimore might win it all. But it's baby steps. But then for KC, Mahomes and Kelsey, they live here. They home. They like, we want to go back home. They trying to go back to the Super Bowl. What's the weather in Baltimore? That's it.
Regular.
That makes a lot.
Yeah,
regular.
that makes more. It's going to be for
it's
the Chiefs.
Regular. It's like here. The weather in Baltimore is the same as Kansas City, just regular.
Yeah, it's for them two teams.
Yeah, they.
I just said
regular.
Detroit.
It's 44 and rain.
It's cloudy, yeah.
It's gonna rain.
But it started right when the.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
They started 3:30, right?
Yep.
Ooh, I never pick games in bad weather ever, because it fumbles, like you said, a fumble ball that kicks off of somebody or goes this way. But that, Detroit,
all you can do
Detroit needs to be in the dome. That's going to be their path to the Super Bowl.
And you know what? You got any further thoughts about?
If they make it, if they win, they'll be in the dome. They'll be in the dome.
The dome.
You got any further thoughts about the AFC NFC championships? Well, let me just say this, because the gentleman on my right and the gentleman on my left have said everything, is that when you are handicapping in the industry, they call it handicapping. You're taking as many factors as you can to
It's called
predict the
handicap.
outcome. You can't predict somebody fumbling the kickoff. You can't predict an interception, a freaking interception. You can't predict that. So, like I was telling you earlier in this podcast, is that 65% is good. It's money. Don't listen to the dudes at the barbershop.
But you could be
Don't
0%
listen-
today because it's 65% over your lifetime. That's what you're talking about.
I can't finish my. I was done.
Are you gonna enjoy this
I couldn't
game,
finish my
though?
shit. I couldn't finish.
You're gonna enjoy these games,
Yeah,
aren't you?
you know, I'm locked
This
in.
is the
on
best
it.
part of the whoop. I'm just trying to tell you over the 100 years or whatever, when you're handicapping a game in the industry,
Gamble
you're trying
responsibly.
to say that, hey, this happens and that. Take sports out of it. The reason why y'all go to Vegas, you don't walk out there, you don't run out there, you take a plane. And you base that plane off the best possible rates. You don't ever handicap, is this plane going to crash nothing? Only time you hear about a plane going down is horrible. You don't hear about the thousands of planes every hour that touch down. No, that's called, it's not called handicapping.
So you book your flight based on the best
You base
time,
your
the best
yes.
price.
So with that
the
same
shortest
thing,
layover,
that's the same
yeah.
thing in sports handicapping. Is that hey, based on this and based on this, I like this. Take your feelings out of it. You haven't heard it yet, but I've always said if you have emotional attachment to a team, do not bet on them because you will have to bet on them to lose or not cover the spread. So that's the wrap on that. So, hey, Professor, you got any further questions?
You got to bet
I
against.
guess
You
you
got to
but
bet against the
I will
Browns
say
and Ohio
this.
State, boy.
This one got away from us, but we're gonna have to do.
It didn't get away. It hit right to the core. What you mean
we
away? This is right in the core.
This got away from us, but we're gonna do
It
a
ain't away
full
from nothing.
segment
It ain't away from nothing.
on exactly how, like when we talk about Vegas next time, we're gonna kind of break down some different games you can play,
Different things to do.
roulette,
exactly what we need
craps,
to
blackjack,
Y'all gotta talk about that. I don't do sports.
We don't talk about them all.
I'm mob deep. All I do is
We're gonna
this.
talk about the different
The
ways.
things we can do. The things we do.
All
in
I
Vegas,
do is this.
when we go to Vegas.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about all.
Because
the
when they go to
things.
Vegas, they don't gamble. They don't sports bet. They might throw a ticket in. They kick shit.
Yeah, we're gonna talk
And we're
about
gonna talk
that.
about kicking it and the new things we can do. Hey,
Yeah, we're
but
gonna
you know
break
what we
it
need?
down.
What we
I'm
need to do
cool deep.
is
Always do
hey,
is this.
I got you 21 now. We're gonna take this trip to Vegas. We're gonna have a special
You got ID?
special jump.
What ID say?
And Vegas, we're gonna have in a suite. We're gonna have one in a
It ain't the
suite
fake
in
one you
Vegas.
showed me. It ain't the
And
fake one
then
you
we
showed me.
gonna so you know it's real.
Yeah,
Because for real, we the Vegas boys.
we're gonna do that because this gets away from us during it's football season.
Yeah.
But when it's not football season, we're gonna do one and we're gonna break them out. Sports betting, kicking it, all of that. We just
Right.
gonna break it down for the people out there.
We appreciate you. Wednesday, there's no football, period. We're going to have picks for you that day if you watch. If you don't watch, it'll be for the next day. If you don't
Yes.
watch next day, that's your loss. You understand? 65% you make money, period.
Yeah,
We out? 40, we out?
we out.
Professor,
We
we out?
Yes.
We out.